last Tuesday of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, we're live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, because there is no ladies in the room, could you, yes, there is. I apologize. I was looking straight up. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to say, being a politician, that Kim Purcell is the best clerk in the United States.
And at least west of the Mississippi.
Yes.
I don't know much about east of the Mississippi, but I know west of the Mississippi, she's the best.
Keep digging.
Commissioners, have you had the opportunity to look at the past week's minutes?
Yes, we have.
And I would move we accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County for December 22nd, 2020.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the proceedings of the Montezuma County Board of Commissioners, Cortez, Colorado, in December 22nd, 2020. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next on the agenda, we have County Administrator's Report. Mr. Powers, go ahead.
Okay, the first thing I have for you gentlemen this morning is we need to approve the budget as it's been posted. You've had time to review it. I can display the budget if you want.
Well, I mean, it's 60 pages, but
Right, and it's been online for 2 weeks. It has been properly noticed.
So unless you have to scroll through it, I guess you can scroll through it, then I would also move that we accept resolution number 26-2020, a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2021 and ending on the last day of December 2021.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second to approve resolution number 26-2020, a resolution adopting a budget for Montezuma County, Colorado for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2021 and ending on the last day of December 2021. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The budget's been approved.
And along with that, we have to do a resolution that appropriates those sums of money. Resolution 27-2020.
I would like to make a motion to approve resolution 27-2020, appropriation of sums of money for the calendar year 2021. General Fund $13,717,284. Road and Bridge $9,318,080. Social Services, and this one is tough, $21,254,615. Largest item on the whole agenda there is our Social Services Department. Public Health, $2,362,710. Landfill Enterprise Fund, $1,558,516. Capital Fund, $2,181.23. LEA Law Enforcement Authority, $811,244. Conservation Trust Fund, $89,522. Emergency Telephone Services, $424,460. Clara Ormiston, 0. Lodgers Tax Fund, $70,000. Sheriff's Forfeiture Fund, Tabor Emergency Reserve, Contingent Fund, and Revolving Loan Fund, 0000. For a grand total of the budget of $51,787,659.
Second.
Motion is second to approve resolution number 27-2020, a resolution to appropriate the sums of money for the year of 2021 for Montezuma County. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, next item of business, gentlemen, when we ordered a new vehicle for the maintenance department, when the bill was submitted, it was miscoded. It came out of the Road and Bridge Fund instead of the capital
Rob
fund.
liked that, didn't he?
Right, so we need to move money from the capital fund back to Road and Bridge to reimburse that, and I have attached the invoice with that, so.
So then
I would move that we approve order number 12-2020 Transfer of $26,523 from Capital Fund 004 to the Road and Bridge Fund 002.
Second.
Motion is second to approve order number 12-2020, December 29th. I don't know why I said that. Transfer $26,523 from the capital to the Road and Bridge Fund to the correct and incorrectly coded invoice for the new maintenance vehicle. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And then just a matter of housekeeping. Since Joel Stevenson will be a commissioner, we need to move Zach Farian from the alternate position onto the planning and zoning for a 3-year term.
So is that just we have to?
Well, he's the
He's the
alternate right now, so
just
he
steps
moves up and the
automatically.
alternate position opens.
So then I would also move that we appoint Zach Farian to the permanent commissioner position for the Montezuma County Planning and Zoning Board.
For a 3-year.
For a 3-year term.
Second.
Motion is second to approve Zach Farian, a permanent commissioner position for the Montezuma County Planning and Zoning Board for a term of 3 years. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then I wanted to take some time and thank Chairman Sukla and Commissioner Ertel for their service and dedication to Montezuma County. As residents and employees of Montezuma County, we would like to thank you for your 8 years of service and dedication to the county. Although at times we may have disagreed, you have always done what you believe to be right for the people of Montezuma County. When you took over this county, it was not the county we see and work in today. At that time, commissioners were under investigation for allegedly trafficking stolen heavy equipment. Tens of thousands of dollars were being embezzled directly out of the county administration office. Sheriff's deputies were allegedly stealing firearms from the county and then reselling them. We had just lost a district attorney to an accident that occurred while riding a motorcycle intoxicated on a revoked license due to DUI. I am thankful the county in which we live and work today is no longer that. Under your leadership, the landfill has saved hundreds of thousands of dollars and successfully implemented a recycling model that was sustainable even through the shutdown of Three Dragons Mill in China. Because of you, a perverse leader of the Department of Social Services was replaced, and the problems highlighted in the Ombudsman report were corrected almost entirely before the report was even finished. During your time, water rights have been taken seriously, and you have appointed men who are not afraid to fight to represent the rights of Montezuma County and the Upper Basin. Although not always agreeing with everything, you supported our noxious weed department in their endeavor to remove free adophytes, saving over 27 million gallons of water. When it came to issues of public land usage and private property rights, you made sure Montezuma County had a voice in Denver through your work with CCI, and a voice in Washington, D.C. through your work with both CCI and NACO. And just last week, you took a stand to keep our historic roads and Forest Service and BLM land open with your resolution claiming our SR 2477 roads were for we the people of Montezuma County. Last year, during the budgeting process, you made a decision to fund law enforcement before there ever was a movement to defund the police. When the state began constructing red flag laws, you were resolved to make Montezuma County a sanctuary for the Second Amendment. And this year, you helped to ensure the safety of our community by ensuring all remaining funds were made up to purchase the BD Max analyzer before we even knew there would be a CARES Act. You allowed MoCo to loan a bus to Southwest Memorial Hospital for the transporting of COVID-19 patients to keep ambulances and services for other needs. You hired an emergency manager who has kept PPE flowing into the county and being distributed to the hospital, law enforcement, EMS, and nursing homes. At the same time, you recognized individual liberty. You supported businesses being open and quickly adjusted the county budget to make funds available for business relief, again before there even was a CARES Act. Furthermore, the majority of CARES Act money that passed through the county went to our businesses. You allowed the most successful fair in the state to go on, promoted races, and sponsored a freedom concert on the 4th of July after all fireworks were canceled. All of this boosted the morale of citizens when they needed it most. 8 years ago, like most areas, the municipal roads were in better shape than the county roads. We now have the extension of County Road J. 7th Street completed, moving bus traffic off of Main Street, and we have scores and scores of miles of improved county roads. Today, Montezuma County is not the same as it was 8 years ago. So I want to thank you for your service and your dedication to this county over the last 8 years.
Thank you, Mr. Powers.
And
Thank you,
Miss
Shaq.
Billy has
You're very generous.
Thank you.
some tokens for your service.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you.
Do you want a picture?
On that anywhere, baby?
Yeah, let's Miss Billy, can you get a picture of them with those? Over by the flags would be good.
And then also, CCI sent you both a little gift too, so I'll let you guys open those up.
Wow, thank you.
Well, shoot, man. Right over here by the flag.
Oh, by the way, we can both do it. We can,
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you all.
let's take a couple just in case eyes are closed.
I wish where's our newspaper reporter? I think we'd run them all off, man. We have run them all off. Thank you all.
And then, like I said, CCI sent this
Okay,
for you guys.
all right.
And your boxes for those are over here. For your.
Oh, for our,
Don't-
okay, our plaques?
So you don't break them when you.
So you don't drop them and break them on the way out of here?
If it costs more than $50, you need to claim that for tax purposes.
Yeah, did you pay more than $50 for that thing?
49.
$49.95, huh?
Oh, that's
Coffee
a
cup
nice coffee cup.
and something else.
We may be a hair behind on the rest of the agenda. I don't know if everybody read that there was no planning portion this morning. I'm going to throw out some text right now.
What is that?
I'm not sure what the hell it is, Larry Don. We got two of them. That night glass cheater?
I think that's to start a fire when we get kicked out of the building. That's a magnifying glass.
Survival kit.
what the
Huh?
It's a survival kit.
Huh. Well, we'll see if we can figure it out, buddy.
Wow, that's very kind and nice. Thank
Yep,
you.
thank you all. Yeah, very nice words, Shaq. Thank you. You're most generous.
Well, thank you.
So, I guess we're waiting on Gina.
Yeah, I just sent out some text messages.
Well, Mr. Baxter, are you ready?
Yeah, the only thing I have to report is that we did get the petition for certiorari to the Supreme Court for MVIC filed last week. I think we did it on the 23rd. It was due the 24th. So we sit and wait now to see whether or not
See
they
whether they'll
accept
hear
that.
it or not. Yeah.
Yep, it'll be the new commissioner's deal,
Yeah,
not yours.
Yeah. I get to see if they can clean that baby up, huh?
How long ago did that start? Because
Oh, gosh,
I
about
mean,
2
it
years
was
ago?
going
I'm gonna guess about 2
prior
years.
to me
Yeah, I
getting
think it
here,
started
so-
before you, Jim, right before you, maybe that fall or something. I
Yeah.
can't remember on
Not
the,
much before.
Right.
not much before, about
Yeah.
2 years ago, yeah.
It's not the oldest of our.
Of some of our,
No, I was just, I mean, I
But to
was,
give you some background, I
Yeah.
don't know, Joe Burns, you know, part of the Richard Tibbetts clan, he had a culvert that goes to, what do they call that subdivision? Green Acres? that's
some,
up
yeah, I
there
think
by
that's right,
T,
Green Acres.
5 Road S.
oh, S, yeah.
And that was, it was crushed.
Yeah, it got worn out, and the MVI had taken a turn on us even prior to that. They'd stopped us from being able to suck out of the canals for our road department to get water out. Even though we had 20 shares, where they disallowed us to go where we used to be able to go to the canals and suck and fill the trucks, you know, and keep it close to your road work. They denied us that. And then they, where in the past we had done a mutual thing with the culverts, that they bought the culverts, we put them in, or vice versa. I think that's the way it was, that they paid for the culverts and we put them in.
It's not perfectly clear,
But
but
there-
I
there
think
was a mutual-
what Commissioner Ortell is saying is exactly right. There's been a lot of more informal
Yeah,
handshake
very-
type agreements
right.
with MVI over the last, not recently, but
No.
decades, maybe
Decades.
century, however far
Yeah.
back it goes.
Long time.
And then all of a sudden, they chose to, I think, try to change that. So the culverts, it's disputed, but we believe that we as in Montezuma County, probably helped pay for the installation of those, for the construction and installation of them, and they've always helped us pay for the maintenance of them. There is a statute that, while we don't think it's perfectly clear, and that's what we're arguing, says that they should pay for the installation and construction of it. We don't have any evidence that they did pay for installation and construction of culverts in the past, but the statute says that they should, and then that we maintain it after that. And so when this became an issue is when, before your time, but not much before your time, there was a very old culvert that failed and needed to be replaced. And so the issue is still, okay, is that maintenance that falls on the county forever after it was installed? Or is that considered, okay, we start over again, it's reached the end of its lifespan?
New construction.
New construction. We're arguing that's new construction. They should have to pay for this. The district court here, Judge Walker, ruled against us and said, nope, they only pay for the initial installation, you maintain it forever, and that includes replacement costs. So that's what's on appeal. If in fact, and this is also for new commissioners' information as well, but if in fact the Supreme Court takes it and overturns it, some of those county road departments are on our side, as you can imagine.
Yeah, they are big time.
Big
time.
If they do take it and overturn it, then we're back to argue it in district court here. If they don't, then really the next step as far as the future of that specific issue is legislation. They need to clean it up with legislation, because they're not funding this for you. They're not saying, county, you need to, here's some money, you need to.
Right.
And so, granted, that statute was written before the unfunded mandate statute was written. So that's one potential solution, is get your state legislature to fix that. And the other solution is, do we start arguing contract claims with MVI, which is not what this case is about, saying you breached a contract, granted it was an unwritten contract, but you never paid for the installation.
Initially.
We helped you pay for it, we helped you do all that,
Yeah.
you've helped us maintain it. And that's how this came to a head, is
They wanted to quit that.
Rob said, hey, we need to replace this thing. This is how much it's going to cost. How about you give us this much? And they said, no,
You do it
we're
all.
not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So it was, long history of it is too many handshake informal agreements
Yeah, nothing on
where once everybody wasn't copacetic with it anymore, it went south.
Yeah. Very, very, very well put, John. Yeah. Very well
Anything
put.
else, Mr. Baxter?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to our social services. We got Gina Montoya and Lori Higgins. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I guess we can just do the proceedings first, correct?
Yeah, the record of proceedings.
Yeah, so I would move that we accept the record of proceedings for Montezuma County Board of Social Services for Tuesday, November 24th, 2020.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the record of proceedings for the Montezuma County Board of Social Services for the day, November 24th, 2020. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have the financials.
Gina, I just wanted to ask you, why is the aid to the needy disabled separated out from TANF and some of your other programs where you're distributing money to? Why is that a separate line item?
Because TANF is temporary aid to the needy.
Gina, is that microphone on?
No.
Sorry.
The aid to the needy and disabled are those who have been qualified as having a disability through SSI.
Mm-hmm.
And TANF doesn't necessarily have SSI qualifications.
Okay, all right.
They're separate. It's a separate line because aid to the needy and disabled means they have
They
a
have to meet certain
they have a
certain
disability.
requirements.
And those that are on TANF don't have to have a disability. They're looking for jobs or they don't have jobs.
Okay, that answers my question.
I'll be in that spot here in a couple of weeks.
You know, they always talk about the federal poverty level and what that means. And, you know, I try to understand that. It's like, if you have a family of 4, the federal poverty level means that they're making $26,000 or less. And we have a lot of families like that here in Cortez. So, and I just want to make one comment and I'll be quiet. I looked at October's financials and the total was $1,468,1664. Our total for November was $1,368,000, which is basically $100,000 less. And so I think we're on the right track.
Where did that come from? Do you know where that came from? Because your food stamps are still up there at the 840,000. And
But you'll see that the LEAP started paying out
Yep.
in November, so that that's a big chunk. What was
Yep.
it, 43,000?
42,377.
Right. So you see that the LEAP picked up, whereas others went down. So
You don't know where that 100,000 came out of. Do you know where your $100,000 savings, if you want to call it that, or reduction came from?
well, if you look at the foster care went really down to 59,000. Foster care last month was 96,000. That was quite a enormous amount that went down in foster care.
So that was about half of it.
Right. So, and then you look at childcare went down to 41,000. It was 53,000 last month. So that's another 10,000. And
So just different departments have shrunk some.
right.
Yeah.
And I've noticed too that our Medicaid enrollment has gone down to quite a bit keeps going down from November through December. I'm just looking at the trends. And
That's the enrollment?
It's the new enrollments for Medicaid, which surprises me.
Yeah, isn't this normally the open,
Yes.
Medicare, that's
Summer would
Medicare's.
be
Open enrollment?
open enrollment.
Yeah.
It is open enrollment, but I
Yep.
see it's quite low. It's gone down quite some for new Medicaid enrollments. I don't know why. The thing with TANF too has gone down quite a bit too. I'm talking with the other regional directors, Mesa County, especially Tracy Garcher. He says his TANF lines are going way down, and we can't make sense of why that's happening.
Because they're handing out CARES Act money, they're handing out to the feds are sending them checks.
As long as they keep doing that, I think
mean,
that line is going to go.
They're getting it, it's just coming from a different pot of money.
But once that stops,
They're here, it's gonna come back, you bet.
yeah. So I'm just looking at trends when I look at graphs like this. This helps me look at what we're doing here at the department.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you where I need to see that come back more on a permanent basis, that food stamp. Because prior to this pandemic business and the COVID stuff, we were running around 500,000, maybe sometimes getting to 600,000. Now we've been running over 1 million a couple of months. We're at
Yeah.
800 and some thousand now, because that thing has gone absolutely through the roof. And
Right.
and I assume all those people are qualified, or if they're making special considerations, I don't know, but that's getting to be
Well-
that's a, well, and your budget, I'm gonna tell you, we just passed the budget, and your department is by far and away the largest budgeted item in the county, 21 million and some change. You guys, and I know we only kick in 20%, but
Right.
20% of 21 million is still a chunk of money. But that, you guys have grown, my God, that department has grown
It's
since,
doubled since we started.
yeah, more than doubled since we started in 8 years. And nothing else has more
Yeah.
than doubled in this whole county department.
So if people want to make noise about that, the representative, because the House of Representatives controls the purse strings.
That's true.
Lauren Boebert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Let her
that's
know.
exactly, you're exactly right, Shaq. That's all federal, or 80% of that's federal dollars that are being pushed down to run
Yeah.
run the social services.
And 3,000, it was decreased from last month from 3,000, it went down 3,000 for this month from last month.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
And especially if they're getting their whole allotted amount, you're going to see those numbers like that. When the federal government says they're not going to get their whole amount, the whole allotment, then you're going to see the numbers decrease. So here we are. After what?
Gina, I'll tell you, I'm awfully glad you came to this department. I want to tell you that before I leave. You've been a great replacement for what we had in our leadership at the Social Services Department. You've done an admirable job with and you stepped into a department that was in shambles. I'm here to tell you, that department was in shambles when you got here, and you've done a fantastic job of keeping that operating at the level that it needs to operate at, and with the personnel that needs to be there, and for that I'm grateful. I hate seeing that get so much bigger and bigger and bigger, but more and more people, I mean, are after you to have it. So I can't change that. But you've done an excellent job with our Social Services Department. I
Well,
wanna thank you.
thank you, Commissioners, for allowing me to have this opportunity.
Yeah.
On the same hand, you didn't warn me during my interview.
We didn't want you to know everything.
I know. I said, after the fact, I stepped inside and I said, why didn't they say anything about this? I should have interviewed you guys.
Yeah, you should have asked us a bunch of questions you didn't know to ask us. Yeah.
Wait for it.
Well-
Hindsight is 2020.
Well, and then you had a good recommendation from the social service director from Alamosa County.
Oh, yeah. She's a great person to collaborate with, and all the regional directors have been very helpful. I don't know, what I would do without them. So
Well, you need
they're
to keep
good.
that network. That's where you get to have access to things way beyond your own personal stuff, and that's good.
And then our child welfare president is Matt Dodson from Archuleta.
Yeah, I know him.
He's great to work with because, I'll call him from any store in the county, and if I'm having an adult protection issue, I call him directly and I get advice from him and he gives me advice. So all in all, it's been good collaboration with the regional directors and the county community as well. And I want to say thank you for letting me
For
be
putting
the
you in
director.
that barrel of snakes, huh?
And there was something else I was going to say besides thank you. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, good riddance.
Here's $100 for the administrator.
What's that?
Glad to
Here's
see you're
$100 for
gone.
the administrator. Is that what you're going to say?
Oh, okay.
Just checking.
I just want to say that I'm very blessed that I have a very committed and passionate staff. They're keeping on board. One of our goals is to have our staff stay on board, retain staff, and have a sustainable workforce here for our department, because I think that's real important. Also, I feel very passionate about training and opportunities for training, and that's what I've been working on for the past 2 years. So So I think I'm very blessed to have the staff here that are working here. They're working very hard. And I feel bad because a lot of times, there have been times when other people have had to pick up the slack because we've had to quarantine people. We've had people who have been ill with COVID-19 for whatever reasons. But the good part about it is that the child protection staff and the adult protection staff will be able to get their vaccinations early. And that's through the help of the public health department because they're mandated to go out and do their visits. And it's kind of hard, you know, they try to keep safe as much as possible, but you never know. And then if you have 3 caseworkers looking out after a baby who's positive COVID-19, they find out later, then I have to quarantine all 3 of them from home who are intake workers. So then we have other workers who have to pick up that slack because they're out of the office. So I just want to say thank you to you folks and thank you to our staff and my management team. Lori, she's been very helpful. And learning the budget and the finances, that's something big.
That's big. You're not
Huge.
very complicated, yeah.
Yeah, and learning the 11 programs and eligibility is very complicated too. And thank you for moving that child support case to Montrose. It finally went through.
Good.
And it all had to do with money because they wanted to get the pass-through money. Finally, they accepted it. Once they found out that they weren't getting the pass-through money through child support,
They were all good.
they were all good. But before that, we don't want it, we don't want it. And then the state said, well, you're not going to get the pass-through money because the non-custodial parent is applying for TANF. So do you want it or not? Too bad. So, and I feel bad for Delta County. Y'all heard about their ceiling collapse.
They had a flood.
Their ceiling collapsed. They moved into their new building in March, and they were so excited because they could space out their workers due to COVID-19. And then on Christmas Eve, their ceiling collapsed and ruined their scanners and their computers, etc. And that's a really sad thing that they had to go through. So, and I know that Mesa County is helping them out.
Good.
So.
That's good to know.
That's all the news I have. I wish you all a happy holiday, a safe one and a healthy one. Wish you all the best. And don't hesitate to come and visit us.
We may do that. You never know.
I know.
Life and benefits.
Oh, the last thing I want to say thank you to is Commissioner Candelaria and Shaq trying to get the lobby and getting the lobby remodeled. I think that's a plus for all of us and for the clients. And I think it's going to be well. It's going to come out well.
Good.
Yeah, anything will beat that congestion, that clogged up hallway down there as you walk in those doors. I mean, that something that we didn't see when we were doing all that before, but now that it's done and they've got it lined up to get it fixed, I think it's be a good deal, real good deal.
And I'd just like to report the DNN staffings, the staffings that we have every other Tuesday have gone really well, probably in the last 6 months to 8 months. Those staffings have been really well put together, and I think they're going better than what they were when I first came, because there's a lot of collaboration going on, and we're getting reports from the recovery center a lot faster. In that way, the caseworkers have that information before they go into the staffing rather than after the fact. So I want to thank John Baxter's team, him and Ian, for working really hard with our staff. So thank you. I know Ian's not here, but maybe he'll get a thank you from you, John. Okay.
We still need to
Okay,
pass our.
pass the budget.
Oh.
Yeah,
The
expenditure.
payables so I'd move that we accept payables to Montezuma County Department of Social Services for November 2020 in the amount of $1,368,003.46.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the payables for the Montezuma County Social Service Department for November 20th, 2020, in the amount of $1,368,003.46. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anything else, commissioners?
No.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a happy new year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Lori. All right, we'll go to Rick Torres with the Veteran Services.
Good
Morning, Rick.
Good morning, Rick. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you,
Good.
gentlemen, ladies. Before I go into my report, and we're in the mood and the spirit of giving thanks, I'd like to, before I give my report, also begin with a little stroll down memory lane. About 8 years ago, I guess our local veterans associations and groups got together, and they came to the commissioners, stating that they needed a full-time veteran service officer to advocate for our veterans and their widows. The commissioners heard them, and they put out a call to hire a full-time VSO. I saw that ad, flew out here from Florida. I'm glad that I did.
So are we.
So are we.
Yes,
So are we.
Probably the best, besides marrying my wife, probably the second best thing I've ever done in my life. Anyway, but I want to thank you for your leadership and your wisdom, and most of all, your partnership in seeing how important it is that our veterans, and particularly the widows and the minors of veterans, are not forgotten, and that we have people fighting for them, both at the commissioner level and at the department level for their benefits, which they rightfully earn.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Please include those remarks. But I'll recap. Thank you, and apologize to the audience listening, but I thank the commissioners for their leadership, their wisdom, and most importantly, their partnership in advocating for the veterans over the past 8 years. I got here 7 years ago, and you've been fully supportive of our office and everything that we fight for our veterans and their widows. And for that, I thank you. You've left a mark on these families for a long time. So thank you so much.
So have you. And our best move on that whole deal was hiring you.
Well, thank you.
And you're the one that's been down there on the line with these veterans and their families and their widows and their children, seeing that they get the benefits. We get to see your reports every month, and I don't know how many millions of dollars that this county and the veterans in this county and their survivors have gotten because of you, Rick, and your staff. But you've made a monstrous difference in our veterans community here in this county. Monstrous difference.
Thank you so much for your kind words.
He'll remind us in 1 second the amounts of millions
Yeah,
of dollars.
And I think for the next month, I'll do a recap over the last 7 or 8 years,
There you
or even
go.
further back. So,
Yeah, there you
but
go.
no,
That-
thank you for your kind words. But as you go around after your political life and you touch base with veterans and the widows, send them our way.
You bet.
I know you'll continue to do that.
Will not hesitate to do that.
Thank you. And we love helping them. With that, we'll go into our report. As you see up on the board, the report that was submitted to the state of Colorado within the first day or two of the month. The reason we report that quickly is so that we can continue to receive our 2 reimbursements from the state office every 6 months. So if there's any questions on that, I can go over that.
No, I
If
think
not,
you
it's
and
pretty
Mr.
self-
Powers got that put together and got it sent in, and the way it should be.
It's pretty self-explanatory, and that's, they log that in, and then we get our disbursements every 6 months.
Yeah.
With that said, we'll go ahead and show the financials.
Shaq and they've already
Oh,
taken
that's
care of
right.
that. Yeah, we
that's right.
gave Shaq authority to sign off on that.
Oh, yeah, it's already there.
Yeah.
We're being prompt on that one. So what you'll have there is, before I used to provide a different type of report to the commissioners that had the financials on the second or third page. What we did was, when we went to that previous report to the state, the commissioners asked me to set it on this format. So here's our expenditures for last month, and if there's any questions, I can go over in detail if you have any. If not, we'll go ahead and go into item number 3. I always like to compare the previous year, how our activities compare to the current month of November. And as you'll see, pre-COVID, we were seeing 245 people come through that office November of 2019, a big dramatic drop due to COVID. Last month, we saw 124 veterans or their widows, 6 which were new clients. That was a drop or a decrease of 121 visitors coming through the office. So that's pretty much been the norm now for the past 6, 7, 8 months now since COVID. With that said, you'll see an item number 5 down there where it shows house calls and nursing home visits. We did not do any last month, again, due to COVID. Try to minimize exposing ourselves and our clients. We did 3 outreach events, 1 community event during November. Our office filed 12 VA claims for benefits. We were notified during November that 21 previous claims were decided. Of those 21 claims, 18 were favorable decisions, 1 was unfavorable to the veteran, and 2 continued the way they were. They were neither positive nor negative. In November, the 18 favorable decisions brought in an additional a little over $21,000 a month for those veterans and or their survivors. If I did my math right, it should be a little over $261,000 over the next 12 months. And those 18 individuals combined received a total of over $300,000 in back pay. Year to date, from January through November of this year, all the folks that have won a claim for benefits from the VA total $148,000 plus per month. Again, if the math is correctly, it's a little over $1.7 million they will be bringing in over the next 12 months, and hopefully they spend it here. And back pay, we're at over $1 million in back retro payments. That's monies that were owed to the vets or the widows, but the VA took kind of a long time to make the decisions. And I'm going to leave you with a couple of success stories. Like I always like to, some feel-good stories there. One claim here, item number 8, this was an appeal that went to a VA law judge. It was not a claim that I did. This gentleman, he was a Marine. He filed a claim in 2011. He filed one of those types of claims where you file for everything hoping you win. I don't like to do claims like that. I like to do targeted claims, ones that I'm pretty confident we're going to win the majority. But the veteran did win some claims, and he was bringing in maybe about $300 or $400 a month as a result of that claim. He appealed other issues, and since 2011, this gentleman had a claim on appeal. Over the years, I got here in 2013, I did help him with continuing some arguments and strengthening what he had argued to a law judge. Well, finally, the claim was decided by a law judge, and this veteran was rated at 100% disabled. He should have been paid 100% back to 2011 when he filed his claims, and this individual received back pay of just under, $250,000? Yeah, so that's a lot of money. And that's the one I joked about. If I could be his dependent, I would. But, he can't put me on, I can't claim him as my dad. But anyway, good for him for sticking to his guns. He had some decent arguments. The law judge saw it his way, and that's what happens when the veteran or the widow is in the right. And we take it out of the hands of the VA, and it goes to a VA law judge.
And
So-
their ruling's final, huh? The
Pretty
VA
much, that's
pretty
it.
much the VA.
Oh, yeah, the VA cannot argue with a law judge.
Got you.
So anyway, that's a nice success story. I like to always end on a positive note. And my last feel-good news is, as I let the commissioners know during one of our meetings, that Sarah is now accredited through the Colorado Division of Veteran Affairs and the National Association of County Veteran Services. You'll see a slide up there. That's a snapshot of the VA's Office of, I think it's called Office of something General, Attorney General or something. So that's where we get accredited through. The VA recognizes Sarah through 2 organizations. And then I threw mine up there just for the heck of it. But the county has bragging rights. We have 2 accredited county veteran service officers on staff, ready, willing, and able and proud to serve our veterans, their widows, and their kids if they're eligible for benefits. And that's a testament to your leadership for supporting everything that we've done to further help our vets and their widows. With that, if there's any questions, I'll open it. If not, we end on a great note.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rick.
Yes.
It's our
Appreciate it.
pleasure.
Well done.
We wish you all the best, and you know where we're at.
And you know, Rick doesn't just serve Montezuma County residents. I mean, I refer people from everywhere. He
Yeah.
can take any veterans from Farmington, La Plata, Delaware, anywhere.
He did help La Plata County when their veterans
VSO
administrator
left, yeah.
was gone,
Yeah.
when that guy left. And he also helps veterans that are international that don't have an American liaison. He helps them to file claims from here as well. So overall, you're getting a pretty good return. You spent just over $6,000 on their office last month, and your return was 50-fold, just over $300,000. I'd take those odds, those
that with
returns
any
any day.
Maybe since we're ending on such a good note, maybe maybe for the new commissioners, I'll follow Gina's lead, but instead of doubling our veteran empire, maybe we'll just go by halves. We'll increase it by half.
Another 50%, yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm happy where we're at. Thank you, commissioners. Good luck. Godspeed.
Thank you, Rick.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
All right, we have the senior services. Jonathan Parker, I see him out there. How you doing, Jonathan? Good to see you.
today?
I think sort of the same thing. Try to end the year on a positive note. You know, it's been tough all the way around with all the different agencies and whatnot, certainly for the senior center. But the big positive is the kitchen remodel. Honestly, I know we're not serving meals there, but it's been a huge boost and on many levels, just the convenience and in looks, function-wise, everything about it. And I still feel confident, you know, even last month I know we talked about, or 2 months ago, trying to get back open. That's just not going to happen just yet. But I'm still confident it's going to happen. And I think I kind of feel the same way about with Rick, and I'm sure others that speak here too, that, you know, for the commissioners, it's important for the county, the people, you know, to know what is really done. And the senior center, again, it's an important component of the county, but that kitchen really needed to be done bad. It just did. And it's a great remodel.
It's just a shame that it got done when you're not going to be able to show
Understood.
it off and prepare the meals. I mean, do stuff with it, but
But we'll be ready. But
We'll
be ready
that
when
day
it
will
comes.
come.
And I
When
agree.
it comes, and I
It's
think
coming.
that's the
It's
thought. It
coming.
is coming, and I think it's going to come sooner than later. Now, honestly, with the vaccination, and whatnot, spring not too far around the corner, I think that the time is coming. And it's going to be used again. I mean, I know in my last year's budget, I had put in quite a bit in the budget for annex use, just because the kitchen is a big part of that. Now we can promote it and stuff. But that's coming. Regardless, that's going to happen. You know, it's going to get back on track. And I know, at least under your tenure, you won't be able to come over there and enjoy it, but you will after.
The heck, yeah, I won't. I can come right down there and have lunch anytime.
Well, and I got to tell the new commissioner who comes in, I'm a big fan of the cheeseburger at El Grande, but actually we make a pretty darn good cheeseburger over there too. So, we do actually. But anyways, I did want to leave. I mean, I guess I could do some numbers and other things, but really just to leave on a positive note. There's so much negativity. There's so much going on with people. It's the holiday times, you know, the Christmas, New Year's, and I think if we just kind of focus on some of the good that's done. Organizationally, we've done good. I don't want to go there, I think, all that kind of stuff, but really, that kitchen remodel, cost-wise, is a microcosm of what the county budget is, but it's big, and it's going to be long-lasting big,
Yep,
is what I would say. It's the effect is going to be, 20 years down the road. It's just going to show itself over and over again, so I think that's a real positive. And again, who's ever watching, or the county people really do need to understand and know that, how important it is. So that's my take, and I guess my little end of year kind of, and I appreciate you guys bringing me on, and the kitchen will outlast me for sure and that kind of stuff, but for this year, that is one really big positive, one big plus, so appreciate that really much, so.
We're glad we got it done.
Yes.
Yeah,
Glad we
thanks.
were able to get it done for you.
Yeah,
and,
appreciate it. Okay, thanks.
And
Thank
you'll
you.
be ready when you get to open
We
back up.
we'll be absolutely
You'll be
ready.
ready.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you. Have a happy New Year's. Thank you. Let's go to Natural Resources Public, or Planning and Public Lands Report with Mr. Dietrich, James Dietrich.
Great letter, James. You did that well.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, well, thank you, gentlemen. And that is really kind of the primary thing that I have for you this morning. I have a letter that's addressed to Connie Clemenston and the exact duplicate that is addressed to Derek Padilla.
Perfect. Very good.
We need a motion for both those, don't we, John? Okay. I'll do one, and Jimmy can do the other.
Okay.
I would like to move that the Board of Montezuma County Commissioners issue this letter to Derek Padilla, District Ranger, Dolores Ranger District, in regard to our historic right-of-ways and our map provided to them and our descriptions of all of the public right-of-ways that are going to fall under the RS 2477 statute.
And included in that letter, I would also move that we send the same letter to Connie Clemenston at the Tres Rios Field Office with the same description as Commissioner Tell just stated. So second.
Second.
Never had that happen.
We got you. We got you.
Yeah.
We got a double letter and a double second,
Yeah.
and yeah.
We've got two motions.
One motion and two letters.
We have
yeah.
one motion to approve two letters, one to the United States local Forest Service office and one to the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management local as well here in Montezuma County. Letter stating that Montezuma County has a map that has been worked on through our planning and public lands natural resource department, and some resolutions with these letters that state why those are RS 2477s and local roads, local people use them for the Montezuma County. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye. Good job.
Thank you,
Great
gentlemen.
job, James. Great job to Mr. Atwater and the San Juan, can't remember the name of his organization, but they've worked tirelessly on this, and I think that's a fitting end to my day.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
And
Thank
Kim,
you,
I
James.
can, you can just send me a copy of those letters, and I'll send everything electronically because I'm sending maps and things like that too. So I guess the other thing, I am working on, the counter arguments for the finding of significant influence out there on the Flodine and Yellow Jacket allotments. So we'll hopefully have a pretty good argument within the next week or so pulled together. I think that'll be probably one of the first things I'll bring forward at the start of the new year. And of course, we'll have new commissioners to consider that also. But I think both the new commissioners kind of know fairly well where we're at with all of that, and I anticipate a lot of support. And that'll be something we'll bring forward to you, and anytime you'd like to see any information on that, I'll forward you drafts and everything. So, but you'll be in the loop on all that. So we also have the RFP that's currently out there for the sign. That it'll soak for another couple weeks, and then we'll hopefully get some action on that. I do know that we have one gentleman preparing a bid for that. So.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Other than that, it's been kind of a short week. So.
Commissioners, anything?
I don't have anything for you, James.
Okay.
James, I just
Job well
want to.
done.
Over the 8 years, all the work you did on the trails for Phil's World and on the path to Mesa Verde, and you did a lot of stuff on our logging, public lands that you did a really good job in your position, and the county's lucky to have you. We really appreciate it.
Okay, well, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's been quite an
second that.
adventure, you guys. It really has been, and
Yeah,
a
it
great 8 years. And so, it's been a fabulous ride the whole time.
Yeah.
We appreciate you a tremendous amount. You've kept us in the loop on a lot of things that would have gotten by us. You were a member of the RAC for a number of years until they disbanded that, and so you've kept us up to speed on many, especially through our BLM and our public lands people. You've kept us right in the middle of that stuff, and I've really appreciated that, James. You've
Okay, well, thank you,
kept us
gentlemen.
aware of what we needed to be aware of, so truly appreciate you.
Well, we'll stay on it.
And continue, yeah,
Yeah,
continue,
continue.
James, you
We
bet.
will.
You're fighting for
Your
the-
term's not up, bud,
Yeah,
just
that's
ours.
right. That's right. Yeah, I got a few more years to go here, but
Yeah, your term's
you know,
not
I'm
up.
always looking forward to the venture, and it has been it's been amazing what we've worked on over the years, and I've never ceased to been amazed by the variety of projects that come my way. So
And what it is, mainly what what you are doing is you're fighting for the rights of people to use their public lands the way that they were intended to be.
that's
So,
right. Exactly.
Keep it up. Thank
We
you.
want to keep Colorado the same Colorado we grew up in.
There you go.
God, yes, amen to that, man.
right.
Amen to that.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
James.
James.
All right, I believe we have the county commissioners report. Mr. Candelaria, Commissioner Candelaria?
Gosh, I've got 25 minutes, so
Oh.
all right.
Oh, Lord, oh, Lordy.
Here we go.
Lordy me, Lordy me.
No, actually, it was actually a relatively quiet and enjoyable week. Not a lot of meetings, and the meeting I was on last night with the governor's call at 5:45. That was mostly just going over the vaccine, which I think everybody is well aware of the vaccine and what phase you're in, and how that's being distributed. So other than with the county commissioners, the 5-star program, which is probably one of the biggest considerations, not necessarily for us because of where we're at on our dial, but for the counties in the red. So with that, I conclude my report.
That is a miracle. That has got-
Between Shack Powers
Yeah.
and that, those are two miracles of the day.
Yeah.
You know, that's right.
Yep. Commissioner,
I have nothing to report. I was in Grand Junction most of the week, up having Christmas with family and whatnot, and don't have a thing to report to you.
and I was with family as well. Really enjoyed being with family over the holiday, the Christmas holiday, and that's all I have to report as well. So.
Did your mother feed you good the other day that you skipped lunch on us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I wanted to be sure. I didn't want you to be shorted on
Yeah,
that deal.
Mom, if you're watching,
Yeah.
it was the best.
There you go. There you go.
It was the best.
Was it better than Julie's?
Be careful there,
Shaq.
Shaq. Damn,
I don't know. You said it was the best.
I'm gonna tell you what, Shaq, it was the best that day. It was the best that day.
You can plead the fifth. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Talk
Don't
about
say
set
anything.
I know, man.
Joe, be prepared.
Yeah,
'cause
keep
it's
an eye on him every day, Joe.
We'll go to public comment. If anybody would like to comment, please come up to the podium, state your name and address. Seeing none, we will, this will be our last meeting for the year, and our Commissioner Tell and myself, our last meeting will be the January 5th, I believe. So for all of you out there, have a happy new year, and
Have a safe, sane new year.
yes.
Yeah.
And I agree. Have a happy new year, and we'll see you back next year.
See you in 2021. Hopefully it'll be a better year than 2020 was.
Yes.
Amen.
Yeah.
So I move we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.